Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, my dear friends. Currently I am sorting through all the packages that got returned to my P.O. box, because every now and then I'll get packages that get returned to me because address was incomplete. For some reason they weren't able to deliver it, what have you. I'm glad though when they get returned to me instead of just being lost in the ether of the international mailing service. I'm glad that they're at least back to me, so now I need to go through and email these customers. And then I also had a number of packages that were returned to me from countries that are no longer accepting international mail. Particularly, this is Brunei, United Arab Emirates, India, Chile. So it's like there are places that are just straight up not accepting international packages anymore, probably for a good while. So I need to contact these customers and just like ask them if they want a full refund or if they want me to send them out later, but I'll probably just end up giving them a full refund regardless. And then I also have some like cute, fun little lovely letters to my P.O. box, which I want to look through. I do my best to respond to everything that shows up in my P.O. box. It might take me a month or two, but I do my best to like write postcards back to everyone who sends me something in my P.O. box. So I want to make sure I look through these. And then today I'm going to be working, I want to work on, it's a little late in the day, it's already like 11:45. I slept in a little bit. And so even though I'll probably be working for like another maybe hour and a half, I'll probably like have a working lunch on printable things. And then I will be spending the afternoon when my brain is a little bit dead creative wise. I will be spending that time working on my taxes, because I just need to finish categorizing all my expenses, and then I need to enter those in. I need to figure out, I had a comment from someone I think on last week's video or 2 weeks ago's video about QuickBooks Self-Employed, which I'm going to look at. I also think I just need to get an accountant, but you know, currently it's a little bit cheaper for me to just do my taxes myself, especially since they're due in 15 days. So I'll be taking care of them myself, but next year I definitely want to have a system set up so it's not quite such a headache. But yeah, I'm drinking coffee today, which is new for me, but I needed something a little bit stronger than black tea. So mind you, I drink my coffee with like 2 sugars and half of this mug is milk, so it's not really coffee, I guess. I'm a latte person through and through. I get hazelnut, I get a hazelnut almond milk latte, or like hemp milk if they have it. So I don't consider myself a coffee drinker since they're all just full of milk and sugar anyway. That is what we're working on. I'm actually gonna be feeding my sourdough starter because I wanna bake something on, because it's Thursday today, right? Yeah, because if I prep it today, then I can bake it off on Saturday. So I can maybe deliver it to, I've been wanting to bake something for Jordan and Jaren, especially since they just got kittens. And so I've been wanting to bake them something as like a congratulations for their new little fur babies. So I might make some sourdough for them, which I think they would like. Do you have anything you want to say to the vloggo as like a hello, my love?
Hello, vloggo.
Perfect. Also, I was just looking at her this morning and she's so round and so soft and perfect in every conceivable way, and
I need to understand the phenomenon. Like, people love cats, and I get it. I totally get it. Mm-hmm. But it at times feels irrational.
I straight up think it's toxoplasmosis.
It's just like parasites in our brain telling us to love our cats.
Yeah, straight up.
I kind of believe that because
you did not feel this way until you started living with Sophie.
Yes, I previously did not care about cats. And then I lived with Soph and I was generally ambivalent. And now I would do insane things for that cat.
I know, because even when you were visiting her at my place, you were like, oh, she's so sweet, she's so cute, and she really liked you. But it was only really when we moved in together that you were like, so.
It's unsettling, but like, does it have any detriment on my life?
No.
I sincerely, the whole mystery between the relationship between the human species,
yes,
and these domesticated cats,
yes,
is astounding.
This is very true.
And it's been going on for millennia.
It's been going on for a long time.
Incredible.
Amazing. Cool. Let's go feed our starter. So let me show you my sourdough starter. I actually have it split in two right now. So I have a stiff sourdough starter, which is essentially like, okay, hang on. Normally, when you have a sourdough starter, it's a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, meaning that when you feed it, it's 1 part starter, 1 part water, 1 part flour. However, with a stiff sourdough starter, which kind of feels like a little ball of dough, it is 1 part starter, 1 part flour, 1 part water, 2 parts flour. So say if you're using, like for this I would be using 2 ounces of starter, 2 ounces of water, and then 4 ounces of flour. Whereas with this one it would just be like a 2 ounces, 2 ounces, 2 ounces ratio. I have followed a guide with stiff sourdough starter to make a sourdough loaf, and honestly it's my favorite recipe that I've found, and I don't know what it is, but it just works really well for me. And there's also something very satisfying about working with a stiff sourdough starter. It's just a little more, you know, tactile because you kind of have to knead it together. So I'm going to be feeding this guy because I want to bake. So I'll be feeding him now and then again right before I go to bed. And then I'll be, you know, folding, prepping, baking the dough, or like prepping the dough tomorrow. And then I'm going to let it proof overnight in the fridge. And then that way I'll be able to bake it off Saturday morning. I also just ordered a second 8-inch brat form, so now I can make like 2 small loaves at once instead of just 1, because brat forms are worth it because they get you the pretty rings that I had on this loaf. I actually filmed footage of me cutting into this earlier this week, so I'm gonna put that right here. Hello, hi. So I just pulled my sourdough out of the oven, and this is it's been a while since I've made sourdough, so frankly I was a little bit worried, but the process when I was baking it, like the dough felt really good. It was really easy to score, and I was like, ooh, I have a feeling this is gonna be great. And she's gorgeous. Look at her. Look at her. I mean, she is still piping hot, but like, look at this incredible color. I used my Benetton, so I was able to get these beautiful little flower rings. She scored beautifully. She puffed up. Look at that height. Look at that height. Because I finally, hang on, let me see if I can get a better angle. Yes. Look at that height. Because I finally learned how to properly shape a boule that actually gets a good amount of oven spring. She's so beautiful. Not a glimpse. Oh, well, there's a little bit of a seam on the bottom, but, or a thing on the bottom, but I think that's actually from the parchment paper, unless, oh no, unless so the bread, I just broke it to the crust a little bit. But she smells incredible. She's so warm. The color is so beautiful. I'm so excited to cut into her whenever she cools down. And I am so thrilled. Look at her. I'm gonna cut her straight down the middle, which is what all the vlogs do. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Cool, okay. Take another look at her. She's perfect. I love her so much. I'm so proud. By the way, my starter is named Jermaine, and she's done a wonderful job. Okay. I'm so excited. I bet she looks incredible. Hey. Oh. Well, it's still pretty. It's just not quite as airy as I was hoping, but I still think she's quite pretty. I'm sure she smells amazing, and I think she's gonna taste amazing. And the crumb isn't like, it doesn't look like it's gonna be too like heavy, and it doesn't look like supremely dense, but there definitely aren't a lot of air bubbles. So that is, it's interesting. It's not, why aren't there as many air bubbles? Did I fold it too many times? Maybe I handled it too much. We need to do more research, but I think that she's gonna taste amazing. Regardless, it looks so good. So I'm satisfied. Okay. That crust though. Yum. Yumbo. Are we gonna take a bite?
Yeah. You got to.
I mean, I gotta. It's so good. I love bread. It's wonderful. I think it's a success. It's not There aren't as many bubbles as I wanted. The taste is great. Shape of the loaf is gorgeous. The crumb is still really nice. So overall, I'm very happy. And I'm just so thrilled about how it turned out. We also have our washing machine going, if you're wondering what that sound is. But like, I know you can't really, I'm not sure if you can see, but look at all of those lovely little bubbles. All those lovely little air bubbles. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got lots of lovely little air bubbles. Oh, particularly right there. Yes, amazing. Also, I finally named my sourdough starter. I named her Jermaine. So, but I love him very, very much. And I thought that I had killed him for a while, but I fed him a little bit and came back strong as ever. I know Jermaine is strong, so come back, no problem. And then I have to figure out what I'm gonna do for lunch. Oh, we have leftovers. Dope. Cool. So, happy Thursday. Something very important, but we have to be quiet. Look at my little bean. She sleep. She sleep. Hi, Mama. You can't even really see her, but she's all tucked up. Sophie. She's got her tail wrapped around her. I'm so happy she's comfy. Guys, I love this cat so much I would die for her. You're perfect. Hello. It's voiceover Cheyenne. Hi. Video Cheyenne is currently working on itemizing her bank statements, which is very exciting. And so I wanted to take this moment to say thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes on pretty much anything you could ever want to learn, from like embroidery to time management tools, video editing, like classes that help you sort of unlock your personal style, like artistic style, Procreate. There are so many Procreate classes. The possibilities are basically endless. I'm actually working on some new products for the shop, as you know. In particular, I'm actually making some like washi tape, and I'm looking to maybe make some new notebooks and things. And so I've been trying to learn how to better make like better repeating patterns using Procreate, since I use it for the bulk of my digital work. And so I've actually been create an intricate editable floral pattern in Procreate by DUD or Nina, which has been super helpful in like streamlining my workflow, improving my workflow in Procreate, and just sort of opening my eyes to the full potential of the app. It's rad. So if you want to give Skillshare a go, the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial of a premium membership, so you can explore your creativity to your heart's desire. And after that free trial ends, it's less than $10 a month, which is pretty rad. So thank you again, Skillshare. And so I basically spent the rest of this Thursday doing boring tax-related things, but then Connor and I went on a very, very lovely evening walk to a nearby park, which was really lovely. The weather has been incredible. Like, the weather has been so nice lately. And also, the incredible thing about living so far up north is that the sun doesn't set until like 9:30. And so we're able to go on these like late evening walks, and it's been really nice and really refreshing. And also on this particular Thursday, we got there just before the farmers market closed, and obviously like the farmers market is not as plentiful as it was in the before times. And so but I did get myself a little pistachio apricot bakewell tart, and I was very, very happy. Hello, my loves. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I'm spending it doing taxes because such is the necessity of the world in which I'm currently living. I've got my sourdough dough resting at the moment. I've yet to do my first stretch and fold, or fold and turn, or whatever you want to call it. I've yet to do my first. I'm going to do 3 again like I did last time because I think that works really well for me. I'm going to like try handling a little bit less, do a little bit a better job degassing the dough, so I can maybe hopefully get some good big air holes in the middle. Again, the texture was really good towards the ends of the loaf. It just wasn't quite so good in the middle, so I'm going to be working on that. But yeah, my goal is to just finish itemizing all of my bank statements, so that way I can at least have like my Google sheet of all my expenses from last year categorized, written out. And then of course it's just a matter of like going into TurboTax and entering it all in. I'm trying to figure out, since I haven't done any bookkeeping for this year, I figure it's probably better to do it now rather than later, because I think we're in the third, or are we in the second quarter? I think we're towards the end of the second quarter. April, May, June. So we just ended the second quarter. So I think that now would be a really good time to like figure out what my bookkeeping system is and go through the last 2 quarters, the last 6 months, and sort of do all that stuff now. So that way I don't have to have this headache again next year, and filing my taxes will be a lot simpler next year. So I'm going to be doing some research on that. And then hopefully maybe I'll get to draw a little bit today. We'll see. But my main goal is taxes. I might actually watch Avatar: The Last Airbender while I do it, just to keep me company. And then I'm making my dough. And tonight, Connor and I are going to be watching Perfect Blue. The Perfect Blue, which is a Satoshi Kon film. I've actually never seen any of Satoshi's work. But I know that like his work is incredible and kind of like monumental in terms of anime. Like he did Paprika and Tokyo Godfathers and Millennium Actress. So I'm gonna start with Perfect Blue because it's my turn this week to choose the movie for movie night, and I want to watch more animated films that aren't Ghibli. So we watched Promare 2 weeks ago, which was life-changing. I can't get too hyped about it right now, but like that was, if you have not seen Promare, I highly recommend. It is so good. If you saw Into the Spider-Verse, if you saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the feeling that you got while watching that movie, that is the feeling that you will have while watching Promare. It's just like, it also visually, it's so stunning, and the characters are so good, and it's so fun, and it's just really cool and really well done. It's worth every ounce of hype that it got on Twitter when it came out. So, yes. I have my tea reheated. I think I actually am about to do my first stretch and fold, but until that happens, taxes. Sophie. I love you. Hi, I just wanted to come at y'all from a different angle today, so I'm not sat at my desk because I'm gonna be there all day. So it's Monday. Happy Monday. I spent the weekend baking a bunch of bread. Baked a lot of bread. I played a Phoenix Wright game for the first time, which is really, really fun and absurd and great. Connor and I watched Perfect Blue, which was wild. For some reason, I don't know, I guess I wasn't expecting that film to hit so hard, and it hit really hard. Connor and I do a weekly movie night where one week I pick a movie and then the next week he picks a movie, and we go back and forth like that. And we watched Promare last time it was my turn. This time we watched Perfect Blue. And I'm just basically trying to watch a lot more animated films because I usually only watch like Studio Ghibli, and so I'm trying to expand my horizons in terms of like you know, Japanese animated films, and I'm very excited. So we're gonna work our way through Satoshi Kon's filmography, I think, and then I really want to watch like Your Name. I of course want to watch the Ghibli films that I haven't seen yet. I also really want to watch 5 centimeters per second. I think I first watched it when I was in college, and I ended up not finishing it, but I just remember that thing like, because I remember watching it as like a show, but it's really a film that's kind of like broken up into parts. And I would love to rewatch it because I just remember that just wrenching my little like 19-year-old heart out. So I'd love to give that another go. But today, on this wonderful Monday, it is the beginning of a boring work week. It is the beginning of me trying to get everything ready for my shop update. But first, I have to file my taxes. I finally finished categorizing all my expenses, and so now I just need to go through the Google sheet that I made and just enter everything into TurboTax. I'm also, you know, trying to figure out a new way to do bookkeeping for next year, which is hard, but it's okay. It's just, these are the things that, I feel like these are the things they don't tell you about being self-employed, is that taxes are the worst. So we're working our way through that. And then I am going to be making another thing of sourdough tonight because I'm baking it off tomorrow morning to bring to a friend. And then Connor has a dentist appointment today, and I'm going to bring him to, yeah, just like a very sort of quiet, sunny work day. I made a list of all the things that I need to do before my shop update, which I want to do next Wednesday. But I need to order some proofs for prints because I've decided to start outsourcing my prints because bit of a pain in the ass to do them myself. I might do some of them myself, but I'll probably start outsourcing the majority of them just because one, I'm getting them done through catprint.com, and they offer like a recycled paper option, and so, which will be nice because I'm not printing on cotton paper. I'm printing on like this like velvet etching paper. It's not 100% cotton, and so therefore it's like, you know, not super eco-friendly, but it looks really pretty. But my new prints will be done on recycled paper, I think, and then so I need to order those proofs. I need to finish all my printable products that I've been working on, and I also, what else do I need to do? I just wrote it all down. I need to work on my printable products. I need to take some new product photos. I'm thinking about potentially even ordering some new stickers. I need to update some of the graphics on my website. I also need to update all my shipping information. I will be offering international shipping to the countries that are still accepting international mail. I've already gotten some packages that I sent back in March. I've already gotten returned to my PO box because those countries stopped service, I think, in April. And so I'm gonna have a list of countries that I'm not mailing to up on my website. But because of that, along with the fact that I will be raising like the prices of my products in my shop, just so that like I can breathe a little easier, so I can keep up with demand a little bit better, I will be having printable products that are a little bit cheaper, and also you don't have to worry about shipping. So if you're an international customer, you can just get your hands on that without having to potentially wait like 4 months for your stickers to arrive. So if you're an international customer and you want to buy from my shop when it reopens, please keep those shipping timelines in mind. I literally have no idea when it's going to get to you, because everything's a bit topsy-turvy right now. I mean, even domestic packages are being delayed, like first class mail packages are being delayed by a couple days anyway. So it's all a bit topsy-turvy, but we're gonna do our best. Oh, and then today I need to record a voiceover audition, and then I also need to record my Patreon podcast. Quiet, sunny little work day here in the Chateau de Barton Miller. And happy Monday. So this last round of sourdough that I made, I tried to put in like not walnuts, almonds, and raisins, because it was my first time doing add-ins to bread, and I think it went really well, and so I want to keep doing that. And then I tried to make this Harvest Country loaf that just did not rise or anything. It was just bad news bears. It tastes pretty good, but Connor had the great idea of turning it into bread pudding. So
we'll see.
I think it would be amazing as bread pudding.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Absolutely. I know now it's like on the line.
No, it's not on the line. No, this is so non-committal. This is like a maybe thing. We don't want to waste all this bread. So, and then
the amount of food mistakes that we make. Me and my friend Leo cook a lot. And a lot of the time, because you know, we're kind of fast and loose in the kitchen, doesn't turn out great. But sometimes when it turns out fantastic, that's when you hear about it.
Yeah.
So this bread pudding.
Yes.
I'm excited about it. Now it's on record. I'm stressed.
No, don't be stressed. You're not going to be the one doing it anyway. I'm going to take care of it.
All right.
So.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, there's like all these add-ins because I put raisins and what did I put in here? I put cranberries, golden raisins, and walnuts. And so like, but I have such a trouble with quick breads. All my quick breads turn out flat and ugly and not good. It might be because I'm using active dry yeast versus instant yeast. And these recipes call for instant yeast, and I don't like let my active dry yeast proof the way I should. But I'm really good at making sourdough. I mean, look at that crumb. How beautiful. So I'm really good at making sourdough. I'm just really bad at making quick breads. But I currently have this little levain, this little offshoot of my starter, hanging out in here because I'm gonna use this to make some sourdough tonight. Look at all those bubbles, the boublés, looking good. And then I have, let's see, ooh, and then I have my stiff starter in here, which I will be feeding probably tomorrow so I can bake with it on Wednesday. And then I have my regular starter, which is just, you know, our homie, Jermaine, Jay chillin'. And then we have Sophie, who's the most perfect bean in all the land. Oh, you know it's true. Look at you, look at your little face. Hello, little bean. How did we get blessed with the perfect cat?
The fates align.
The fates did align. I love you so much, Sophie. You mean the world to me. Oh, it's your dinner time, isn't it? Yes, ma'am. All right, coming right up. Hello, my dear friends. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's a pretty chill day here in the Chateau de Barton Miller. I am currently preheating the oven to bake up the first of my sourdough loaves. I'm going to be bringing it to Zoe. I'm so excited to see her, my sweet Zoe. Obviously, I haven't seen her since like lockdown, and so it's been a few months, and I was used to seeing her like multiple times a week, and so I've missed her face dearly, and I'm so excited to bring her bread. And then I'm actually going to be baking up my second loaf a little later this evening after I get back from seeing Zoe, because the recipe I followed lets you store after your dough essentially does the final proof in the refrigerator, and so it's very flexible as to when you can bake it. I could even bake it tomorrow, but I'm gonna bake it tonight because we're gonna have it with dinner. And then I pretty much all I have planned today is editing this video that you are currently watching. Pretty much editing and going to see Zoe. It's kind of my two main things for today. Probably gonna play some more Phoenix Wright tonight. I'm on the final chapter of Justice for All. And then maybe I'll start playing Trials and Tribulations. We'll see. That, my dear friends, is all I have for you this week. I want to say thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Thank you, Skillshare. Y'all are rad. And I also want to say a big thank you to my patrons for being just so lovely and generous and wonderful. And I love y'all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, patrons. And I also want to say a huge thank you to you for being here. I'm very honored that you took some time and spent it with me, that you spent your very valuable time with me in this tiny little cozy corner of the internet. I'm honored to have you here. I think you are so wonderful and so amazing and so lovely and radiant and just awesome. Yeah, I think you're rad as hell. So I do believe that I will talk to you next week. I'm gonna be spending this week prepping for my shop stuff, and so I'm gonna be vlogging all of that because I think it's always fun to get an insight to the process. So I will be filming that, and so I'll be showing you guys that stuff, that video next week, and I will see you then. I love you so much. Talk soon. Stay brilliant. Bye.